I think it's a very important conference and very important topic to discuss what could happen over the next years. And I think it's important from my point of view, it's important to discuss that issue not in a way to say, well, who will be right at the end of the day when oversupply will start or will come and will take place or not. I think what we should discuss today, or what I am interested in, is first of all, I would say nobody can know it today. This is my experience discussing with a lot of people within the industry and with a lot of experts and consultancy, because we together don't know exactly how fast production will grow, as well as we do not know exactly how fast demand will grow. There are a lot of uncertainties on both figures. But from my point of view, what is obvious is that if we see that very strong growth in production, from my experience, what I see in different markets, there could be some surprising developments in different markets all over the world. But I cannot imagine such a fast growth of the demand like the supply will grow. Also, if you take into account that supply, perhaps there are some unexpected developments and it will not grow as fast as it was presented here. But the point from my point of view is not when it will happen. We as the industry should discuss what is the probability of the different scenarios, and secondly, what can we do and how to react on that and how can we be prepared on that. So I think it would be nice to discuss this at the end of the day or through the day, because I would be interested in that, on your thoughts about that. What could be the right reaction of the companies and also as well of the associations and the branch to be prepared for the situation which can happen over the next years. So thank you very much for the invitation and thank you very much for the introduction. I'm one of the two managing directors of the German Solar Industry Association, and we are representing the solar sector, and please allow me some words about the association. Our task is to represent the German solar industry, not only in the photovoltaic sector, but also in solar thermal. This means hot water production and space heating, etc. Also very important as a field and a growing field. Our vision is a worldwide sustainable energy supply provided by solar energy. And this is the reason why we are traveling all around the world and discussing with a lot of other people and with our colleagues in other associations how we can develop that markets, because the task we are facing and the challenge we are facing is very big, and we can only solve the problem to increase the market, to reduce the costs, if we are working together all over the world. And this is why we are active also on an international level. Our activities are typical for associations. I don't want to bore you there. We are working there since more than 25 years in that sectors, and you already said that we have more than 600 companies as members, and our headquarters are in Berlin. I'm sure you all together know all these first slides about the motivation, etc. So I will go very fast through. But I want to underline the point. I think a very important thing happened in March of this year. Then Fatih Birol, the chief economist of IEA, said we should leave oil before it leaves us. And well, we together know that something is going on, and we have to do a lot on climate change issues and energy price development, etc. But the question is, for me, a little bit, we all together know the discussion is growing, the readiness of the politicians and of the people is growing to react on that, but are there crucial points, tipping point where things are changing? And perhaps this could be, after several years, perhaps this year, with this discussion, with this oil prices, and as well as with a new view of the IEA, International Energy Agency, on that topic could be such a turning point of the discussion. Perhaps we can discuss that next year or the year after within that event if this was the case. So energy supply, fossil and nuclear energy sources are finite. Energy supply is not secure, and climate change requires action. And the message from this slide is, from my point of view, the message is in all these aspects, we will see a growing pressure towards the politicians and towards the people, the consumer, to react on that. And this is the basis for our development and our discussions in the different countries. And I think this is the reason why so many people are convinced that there is no other way than a growth path of the photovoltaic sector, because the framework conditions are in favor of the development of photovoltaics. So the answer to that challenge is a mix of all renewables, no question about that. And photovoltaics will play a role in that. And I think what we will see over the next years is a stronger debate about what is the right mix and where should the government and the society and economies, where should they put the money? In the wind sector, in the hydro energy, biomass, or photovoltaics? I think I expect that this will be a bigger discussion in the future, and we should take that into account if we are discussing further developments. So coming to Germany, this is a slide about the development of the share of renewables within the different sectors. Electricity, oh, where it is? Not any longer. Okay. On electricity, on the left bars, heating and cooling and final energy consumption, and you see that if there is a continuous policy towards renewables, you will see results within a few years. So the share of renewables in the electricity sector grew from 4.8 in 1998 to 14.2% in Germany in 2007, and the target now is to have 30% of renewables for electricity production in 2020. Well, how does this chart look like today? Within the renewables, photovoltaics, of course, plays only a minor role. But what we have seen over last year, the share of photovoltaics in 2007 was already 0.6%. In 2009, we expect the first time that we will have more than 1% of electricity production out of photovoltaics. And in some regions like Bavaria, it is already above 1%. And I think this is an amazing figure, and only a few people could imagine that several years ago. And it shows that if there is a continuous development, a continuous policy, there is also a possibility to make and to develop photovoltaics to energy-related technology, not only a question of investments and industry development, but also to develop photovoltaics to a major pillar of the energy supply, energy source.